Hey guys, it's me, Rich. Look, you're about to hear the DSA wing of the Democratic Party finally say the quiet part out loud. And here's what happened. The co-chair of the Democratic Socialists of America sat down with Fox News and calmly listed off their wish list. Open the borders, empty the prisons, defund the Pentagon, scrap the Senate, the presidency, Supreme Court, yada, 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 yada. But on the other hand, ask yourself, who's really been running this playbook for years? If you stick with me till the end of this video, you'll see exactly why this fringe platform isn't fringe at all. Let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back to RPW Media, where we're MAGA first, conservative second, Republican third, with the goal of bringing you the most honest news coverage of the day. All right, so every so often, a politician forgets to lie to you. It's rare. Usually they're trained out of this by the third grade, but every once in a while, someone in Washington or someone who is just Washington adjacent, they just tell you the truth, almost by accident, like a man who's had one too many at Thanksgiving dinner, and then he starts talking about what he really thinks of his in-laws. Now, I don't think that's what happened here, though. I think the co-chair of the DSA said the quiet part out loud very intentionally. And by the end of this, you're going to understand why the people who run this country don't want you paying attention to conversations like this that we're about to walk through. Fox News, the co-chair of the Democratic Socialists of America, that's Megan Romer here, she told Fox exactly what the party supports. Give this a watch.
So we're going to put up on the screen a few of the things that are part of your platform, and I want to ask you, just give me sort of a true or false on these. Abolish the Senate.
True.
Okay. Replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yep.
Abolish ICE.
Absolutely.
Abolish borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally.
As a long-term plan, yep.
Defund the Pentagon.
Absolutely.
Abolish prisons, at least in large part.
Yeah, again, that as part of a long-term program, yeah.
Okay, so no prisons. Government or public ownership of most large corporations.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, just sit with that for a second. Not reforming, not improving, abolishing, eliminating. These are not the words of a cautious incrementalist. These are the words of somebody who thinks the entire architecture of our country is the problem and it has to be punched in the face. I mean, we can go over the list again. The Senate, the presidency, the Supreme Court, government or public ownership of all large corporations. What could go wrong, right? It's not a policy platform, guys. It's a new platform of government. And whatever replaces those three branches, you can bet it won't have your name on the ballot. Now, think about that, man. Here's the thing, though. The DSA platform sounds an awful lot like the Democratic platform. Just with the volume turned up and the filter turned off. I mean, same ideas, same instincts, just none of the focus group language designed to make it go down easier. These DSA guys, they don't care what you think. Now, here's some from that exhaustive list on their platform. Ready? It says for working class communities, paid family leave for all workers. Ready? A 32-hour work week with no reduction in pay or benefits. Gosh, what could go wrong with businesses? A government guaranteed living minimum wage. It's ridiculous. Shouldn't even be a minimum wage. More publicly funded recreational, educational, and community facilities. Because they're going to have all that time with that 32-hour work week to go do stuff, right? Free public education from preschool through college. They want you and your taxes to pay for everyone's college. Cancellation of all student debt. They have a warm diarrhea brains Biden moment right there. Healthcare for all. Government funded universal healthcare with no individual charges. I can see Bernie Sanders jumping on that. Government funded abortion, and they say, and reproductive services, but getting an abortion is not reproductive services. Government funded gender affirming medical care. Construction and expansion of publicly owned hospitals and clinics. free publicly funded medical education and professional training. Nothing's free, guys. You're paying for it all. Here you go. Demilitarize police departments. Strip power from police unions. Redirect police funding towards social programs. Can you imagine? A woman's getting raped and they send a social worker. Sir, would you like to get off of her? Work toward the complete abolition of police departments and the entire prison system. Treat drug addiction as a health issue rather than a crime. What could go wrong there? Treat mental illness as a health issue rather than a law enforcement matter when someone commits a crime against someone else. Abolish qualified immunity for police officers. The Democrats want that. They wanted to defund the police. Place police under civilian oversight bodies with enforcement authority. See, the GoPro cams were not enough for the libnuts. They're the ones that BLM. We want the cameras on the cops. They thought they're going to get a big win. Guess what? It was a big loss for them because the cameras always pointed out what the cops were saying was true, right? Now think about the math here for a second. Abolish the Senate, abolish the presidency, replace the Supreme Court. What's left? The House of Representatives. And in whatever new governing body they dream up to replace the rest, you've got yourself a system with a lot fewer checks and a lot more power concentration in a lot fewer hands. It's funny how that always seems to be the actual goal dressed up as reform. And the border piece, abolishing ICE, abolishing borders, abolishing prisons. Come on. Not a humanitarian project. The numbers game is about building a permanent electoral coalition. Criminals vote for the people who let them out. It doesn't much matter to them who's crossing that line or what they've done, so long as the count keeps going up. Then there's the Pentagon. They want to defund it because, and I say this with the real affection for how consistently wrong they are, they've convinced themselves that the American military is the problem in the world, rather than, say, the thing that's kept the peace they've enjoyed their entire lives. And, of course, mass amnesty. Not the 11 million illegal immigrants that you've been told since roughly around 1998. A number that has remarkably never moved despite a quarter of a century of continuous illegal immigration. As if for every single person who came in illegally, one politely left at the same time. No. The real number is somewhere between 50 and 60 million illegal aliens are here. They know that. They just don't think you can do the math. And student loan forgiveness to the pile, which, read the fine print, just means the people who never took out that loan get to pay for the people who did. All for votes, for power. All right, so if you guys are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, smack the like button, and drop a comment. It genuinely helps us more than you'd think. So there you have it, the list, part of the list. That's not even the whole list. I don't think I need to add too much to that. It's the kind of thing that just sits there doing all the work by itself. So congratulations, DSA, on designing a country that could be successfully invaded by one guy with a leaf blower and a moderately bad attitude. But in all seriousness, here's the honest conclusion. This isn't some radical fringe group operating on the outskirts of American politics anymore. This is the platform stated out loud by people who no longer feel the need to hide it. And think about this too, guys. This is not, well, the Democrats won't ever let that happen. No. Remember what happened to Nancy Pelosi. She didn't put up with AOC and the squad for about a minute, and then she had to capitulate because they were taking over the party little by little. Now there's a lot more that agree with DSA and the Democratic Party. Don't doubt me. Now, the good news, and there is good news here, is that when people say that quiet part out loud, voters get to hear it. And once voters hear it, they get to decide. That's still how it works for now. That's the upside, clarity. And clarity, it turns out, is the one thing that this ideology can't survive. So share this video with as many people as you can. People need to hear that list. All right. So tell me what you think in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
I saw the flyers on the gate, talking loud about the people